Congratulations! You've just been accepted into a study abroad program from your home university, and soon you'll be moving to Madrid, or Prague, or Singapore, or insert cool study abroad city here. So exciting! Woohoo! You've now got to think about so many different things. Packing your bags for a few months, booking your flights, and leaving a lot of your current life behind. Yeah, that's right. Your friends and family won't fit in that carry-on. They're staying put. Chances are you won't be seeing most of the people you know for a couple of months. I know. So many thoughts racing around your head.
How will I meet new people? Will anyone like me? I've never been to this city or country before. I don't even know what the people are gonna be like.
Don't worry. Get all those negative thoughts out of your head. I promise you've got this. Welcome to Luxembourg, the place to learn how to live and travel better. In this video, I'll share 9 easy ways to meet people abroad, why it actually may be even easier than when you were back home, and a couple of examples of how I best met people. If you stick around until the end, I'll share some bonus tips about how to maintain these friendships when you get back home. I'm an engineering and business student at UT Austin, and I've studied abroad twice. I did a semester of business in Madrid, Spain, and I did a semester of engineering in Copenhagen, Denmark. I've been in your shoes twice. Once in the left shoe and once in the right shoe. Anyway, I've encouraged a lot of people at UT to study abroad, helped them begin their journey, and answered many of their questions. I've formed many strong friendships around the world, and even to this day, some of my best friends live in different countries than me. I'll answer the most common question I've been asked here in this video. How can I meet people abroad? Before explaining the 9 easy steps that you can take to meet people abroad and form strong friendships, I'm first going to explain why it's important. As you're probably realizing, unless you've planned to study abroad in the same city as a friend, you probably don't know anybody in the city you're about to move to. That may be nerve-wracking, exciting, make you anxious, or any other emotion, and whatever you're feeling is a-okay. But you're in a very prime position right now, similar to what you experienced as a freshman or at your first year in university. Think back to those days. You likely didn't know that many people when you first came to university, but neither did anyone else. In fact, because no one knew anyone, everyone was very open to meeting people. The same is true for study abroad. No matter what country you're about to move to, people from all over the world are about to move there too and be in the exact same position as you, knowing nobody. This means that everybody is open to meeting, well, anyone. Woo! As I mentioned earlier, you're leaving a lot of your current life behind, and this includes student organizations and activities in the city, and just general other time commitments that you may have. So think about it. You no longer have tennis practice Tuesday afternoons, or Saturday game tailgates, or volunteer activities Sunday night, or fraternity events, or anything else that you've been committed to for so many years now in university. You have a blank slate and a lot of time to fill. This is fantastic, and soon you'll see why. I'm going to break down the 9 simple steps on how to make friends when studying abroad into 2 phases. The third phase is a bonus, to see how to keep friends after you come back home. If you follow both and just keep putting yourself out there, I can guarantee that there are very high chances that you won't only make friends, but will have a huge network of great friends in many different countries around the world. It's very possible. The 3 phases are meeting people before study abroad, meeting people while abroad, and maintaining friendships post-study abroad. I'll share some examples of my times abroad in Madrid and Copenhagen, and how I met and became friends with so many cool people all around the world. The first phase is meeting people before study abroad. For this phase, I'll explain how to meet the people from your home university who are studying abroad, how to meet the people from your abroad university who are currently at your home university, and how to meet people from your abroad country before you leave. The most obvious way to meet people going for your study abroad is at information sessions and orientations at your home university. This is a super easy way to get the contact information of other students joining you on your abroad program. You can make a group chat and share questions and concerns about getting a visa or finding housing, and even use it to meet up with them later on. Warning though, although it may be super easy to keep meeting up with the people from your home university while you're abroad, remember that you're there to meet locals and people from all around the world. You'll learn the most and have the most fun with them, not the people from your home country who you're used to seeing all the time. A second great way to meet people before going abroad is your home university's international student organization. My home university, UT Austin, has an organization called Planet Longhorn, and I'm sure your university has something similar. Feel free to reach out to them and get context from students who are from the university you're about to study at. They're more than happy to help. Also, as I said earlier, everyone comes to study abroad with zero prior connections. They're just trying to meet people. This means that at your home university, all of the international students probably know each other. The third tip is to reach out to those students to see if they have connections to your abroad university. If you're studying abroad in Portugal next semester and happen to know a Czech exchange student from one of your classes or something, ask that exchange student if they know anyone from Portugal or even the university you're about to study at. You never know how things are going to work out. The fourth tip to meeting people is to move to the country early, before your program starts, and find some activity to participate in. You have to make sure you have the time and money to do this, but if you have the opportunity, this is a great option. I had about a month of free time after my internship ended and before I studied in Madrid, Spain, and I did the Camino de Santiago, a month-long hike across all of northern Spain from France to a city near the west coast in Spain, Santiago de Compostela. Being in the same environment with so many people from around the world and living the slow, countryside Spanish life was marvelous, and probably the best journey I've ever done in my life. On that hike, I met a lot of people really well, some from Madrid and others from around Europe. I invited a lot of my new European friends to come visit me in Madrid, and I went to go visit them. I met Xavi in Oporto, Portugal, David in Madrid, Spain, and Cedric in Paris, France. They all know each other, and we bonded a lot over our time together. This was empowering for me. I knew a couple of people in the city I was about to move to, and I had some really good friendships across Europe now, something I didn't have before. Look for opportunities like these in the country you're about to move to, and you'll have some cool stories and great friends to meet up with while you're abroad. The next phase, meeting people while abroad, is probably the most important part of the whole experience. In this section, I'll explain how to meet a lot of people and share some specific examples of ways I met people during my time in Madrid and Copenhagen. The fifth tip is to use the programs your abroad university offers, like a welcome week. This is a must go-to. In Madrid, it was less structured. It was a collection of a bunch of different events that people could go to, and I went to a lot, put myself out there, and left with a bunch of new friendships. In Copenhagen, I was assigned a group and we spent the whole week together, forming a tight bond. Everyone in these groups is in the same position as you. They know no one and just want to meet people. At Welcome Week, be sure to ask about the ESN network if you're going to Europe. This is the international group for all European abroad universities. Also be on the lookout for different WhatsApp or Facebook groups going around about things you might be interested in. After Welcome Week, another great way to meet people abroad is through your abroad university's international student program. For example, in Madrid, our exchange group Unity hosted bar crawls, trips to nearby cities, and other activities across Madrid. These are a fantastic way to make friends, and especially in the longer events like day trips or walking tours, because you have a lot of downtime to just talk with the other people that are around you. At the beginning of my time in Spain, Unity hosted a trip to Toledo, and I met a lot of friends on that trip, and I kept seeing them across the semester. As I mentioned earlier, you no longer have most of the current time commitments you had when you were a student at your home university. The seventh tip is to join some of these. With all the extra time, join student organizations or other activities in the city and really go big and try new things. I had always wanted to dance salsa because of how often I heard the music from growing up in Texas, and I joined my university in Denmark's dance program, DTU Dancing, and took weekly salsa classes, and now I'm a decent salsa dancer. I made a lot of friends from this organization, and we frequently went into the city for different salsa lessons and dance events together, which was a lot of fun. Be sure to look for flyers and ask local students where you can find the different student organizations to get engaged with new activities and meet people. The eighth tip is to meet people by having roommates and then through your roommates. See where different students have lived in the past and do everything in your power to live in a way that lets you meet more people. My next video will be about this, so be sure to subscribe to keep updated with my new videos, but a brief introduction is just putting yourself in a position where you're naturally encouraged to meet new people. For example, when I lived in Madrid, I had one bedroom in a 12-bedroom apartment with 3 bathrooms, no living room, and a small kitchen. Yes, I know what you're thinking, and yes, it was indeed a dump, but my roommates and I had an incredible time together, and it was absolutely worth it. It was so nice to leave my bedroom and have a group of international friends right at my fingertips. You never know who you're going to get when you sign an apartment like this, but I had roommates from Morocco, the Netherlands, France, Spain, and so many other countries. If you have your own apartment or live with people from your home university, you don't get all these international people to be friends with, and it's just one less group of friends you could have. In Copenhagen, I chose an apartment with a shared kitchen, but I had my own bedroom and bathroom. Sharing a kitchen is great because you're guaranteed to see the same people all of the time, and I became quite close to those people too. Compared to the people who had their own kitchen, I was naturally forced to come out of my room and spend time with people, which is great when you don't really know anyone. Another great way to meet people abroad is to meet the people you met before at your home university. This can be your friends who are now studying in a different city, or international students you've become friends with that you met at your home university. This is a great way to get a more local experience than just a typical tourist trip. I explain why this is so important, but why so few Americans do it, in a video that explains the system that I use called the travel hierarchy, which is linked above. Check it out to see how you can travel better. Finally, in this bonus section, I'll explain the final phase, maintaining friends post-study abroad. Chances are, you'll make a lot of good friends when you're abroad, hopefully because of this video, and will want to stay in contact with them after you've come back to your home country. So, how do you do this when y'all may live so far away? Well, invite that person to come visit you. You may think it's not all that possible, but here are 2 reasons why that person's actually fairly likely to come visit you. First, if they've already traveled to your abroad country once, there's no learning curve for them to come to another country to see you. Your friend has been to at least 2 countries, and the more countries a person has been to, the more likely they are to keep traveling. Second, people across the world live differently than you do. You can't really judge what they'll do because they probably have completely different circumstances than you do. When I studied in Denmark, the Danes didn't only get free university from the government, but they also got around an $800 a month stipend for housing and food, and usually they worked a part-time job too. They're much more financially independent than we are in America because we have to pay for food, housing, and tuition ourselves without support. This means that there's a decent chance that some of your friends are in a position to where they could come visit you. I reached out to a lot of people before my time abroad in Copenhagen about coming to visit me and was actually fairly successful. I had 9 people visit me in Copenhagen and even had 2 of my closest American friends from my time together in Madrid, Rick and Alex, and a German friend come visit me here in Austin. They're well-traveled and will keep on traveling. I'm so glad I met them, and because we keep reaching out to each other, we keep meeting up with each other in new places. It's less likely that people from farther away can come to visit, so you can also call your friends to see how they're doing. Personally, I'm a fan of out-of-the-blue cold calls. Last week, my Swedish exchange buddy randomly called me, and we spent 90 minutes catching up, sharing memories, and even potentially planning to meet up in the future. People are right at your fingertips now, so be sure to reach out and fully maintain the friendship rather than just like each other's Instagram stories or something else less personal. Alright, I'm gonna leave you with one more quote. Be the architect of your life because no one is going to do it for you. You have to put yourself out there and meet people. I hope this video helped you learn the many ways you can meet people while you're abroad. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, and if you want to check out some of my other videos, like the one I mentioned earlier called the Travel Hierarchy, Stop Taking Vacations, they're featured here. If not, I'll see y'all in future videos.